What is up, guys? PieMuffin here, and we are back with another Trails to Azure video. So, the West Samaria Trade Conference has officially begun, as you can see through the glass in front of us. We have everyone from each respective country. I get country? Is that what you say? Nation? I guess nation is better, because it's all one country. Everyone from each respective nation in there talking about all kinds of political things, proposed bills, all that kind of stuff. Everything to hopefully move the country in a better direction, with hopefully most people getting along. Obviously, easier said than done. But our job during this whole meeting of 5 hours is to patrol the area. Just make sure no one is where they aren't supposed to be, no one is sneaking in to try and disrupt the conference, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be walking around talking to everybody. Wow, the view from the corridor is really something impressive. Staring into the distance makes you feel like you're floating on top of the clouds. God, no, I've got to stay alert. I'm on duty here. That's the thing, too, is I'm pretty sure, like, to progress the story, you actually have to talk to every NPC on all 3 floors. I think that's kind of like the point of, you know, our job here. That's how you'll progress things. The conference is finally here. I don't know about you, but I can feel the tension in the air. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. The rooms here on the West Wing are reserved for the visiting dignitaries from Remiferia, Liberal, and Calvard. For their privacy, we've limited patrols on this floor to only what's necessary. That may sound flawed, but do understand that our guests are heads of state. We're obligated to provide them with a certain amount of confidentiality. The dignitaries are also being accompanied by their own personal escorts during any recesses, so security shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so we might see some familiar faces, I suppose. This is the room reserved for Prince Albert of Remiferia. From what I understand, the Grand Prince has extensive knowledge of music. As it happens, I'm currently preparing Speaker McDowell's private record collection for him to enjoy. I guess during the little recess, they'll probably have like 30 minutes to an hour in here. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Phew, I'm dusting up a storm today. There's not a speck out of place on this potted plant now that I'm done with it. Time to double check for any spots I missed. I mean, I really can't imagine it being too dusty considering this place just got built. I figure Mueller has to be in the building somewhere, right? Oh, you're those police officers they have on patrol, aren't you? That's us. Sorry for interrupting. Scree. And you're Princess Claudia's little friend Sieg, was it? Ah, this must be the Gearfalcon Kia told me about. Scree, scree. What's the little guy saying? Could you translate for us, Tio? He said, hello again, SSS, and nice to meet you, Tio. So he remembers us after all. Clever bird. Scree, scree. I always remember the faces of Princess Claudia's friends. Well, I'm honored to hear you say that, Sieg. Scree. Alright. I really thought Mueller would be in here. I don't mean to make a fuss, but are these refreshments truly suitable for the Oh no, this is for Calvard, okay. I understand your concern, but the kitchen staff did their very best with them. I'm sure they'll be fine. Besides, they're patriotic in a way, don't you think? I suppose so, but surely there were better alternatives. Is there some kind of issue with the snacks they prepared? Those sweet buns have Mishy's face on them. I would recognize them anywhere. They're Mishy buns. I fail to see the problem here. Any other food staff would be objectively inferior. Calm down, Tio. If nothing else, to give the president something to remember Crossbell by. I mean, President Rocksmith does seem like a friendly individual, as opposed to our Blood and Iron Chancellor. Okay, whose room is this? The mayor and speaker will be sharing this room during the intermission. Okay. They have their work cut out for them representing Crossbell today, so I'm going to make this place spick and span as I can. This spot gives you an amazing view of Crossbell. Every time I try to clean the windows, I end up getting distracted, gazing out at the city instead. See, I'd be so scared. Like, you're cleaning the windows, you accidentally open it, you go flying out. Like, I'd be terrified. I heard Prince Oliver is especially fond of red roses, so I took the liberty of fetching some to decorate his room with. I hope he enjoys them. This room will be set aside for Prince Oliver during today's intermission. His Highness is quite renowned among the Imperial upper crust for his refined tastes and unique pursuits. Yeah, how about the time he got banned from a restaurant because he stole their, like, vintage wine for himself? Knowing that makes me want to put all my energy to preparing this room for his liking. Doesn't even feel like that long ago. Oh, Lecter. Man, get a load of that view. Ain't it something, SSS? Lecter? What are you doing here? Aw, come on, guys. I'm part of His Excellency the Chancellor's staff. Nothing unusual about me kicking back in here. It's been a few weeks, guys and gals. We really gotta stop meeting like this. Even today of all days, you look like you don't have a care in the world. What he looks like is someone with something to hide. Hey, don't be like that, little lady. Only thing I'm hiding under all this charm is additional surplus charm. So, those glares on your faces tell me you guys have a boatload of questions you want to ask. That's right, we've learned a thing or two in the last 24 hours. Specifically about the Imperial government's actions, or lack thereof, regarding the trade conference. Alright then, I'm not exactly sure what you've heard, so let me shoot you a question of my own. Did you know I'm working with the noble faction to take Gileath Osborne's life? What? Oh? Consider the source, everyone. Don't listen to a word he says. I ain't falling for this one again, pal. Fool us once, shame on you. Dang, don't ruin a guy's fun like that. 2 out of 6 ain't bad, but I was hoping to string half of you along at least. I suppose we can chalk that one up as a crude attempt at humor, then. Listen, Lecter, because I need to make something clear, I don't care what your position or goal is. From where I'm standing, you're the type of person who knows how to take responsibility and get the job done. Owing to that, the most logical thing would be to cooperate with us, at least as far as security is concerned. Am I wrong? So that's your play. I was only fooling about that turncoat business just now, but you can't tell me it's totally impossible to picture, right? You gotta keep your eyes peeled at all times, stay vigilant and see the signs. That's the key to a good writer finding inspiration, you know. I don't know any aspiring authors in this room, last I checked. Unless Lecter was taking additional classes. I've seen Broken Rifles I've seen Broken Rifles shoot straighter than this guy. Jeez. Sorry, but that's all the advice I can give you at the moment. You should keep an open mind about how things might play out. Expect the unexpected and all that jazz. That's real helpful. Thanks. Even now, I can't get a read on what he's thinking. I feel like I understand him even less than I did before. Well, at least Lecter's not up to any trouble we can see at the moment. The dignitaries have personal rooms on this floor. The first one to the right is for the mayor and the speaker. After that is Prince Oliver's. The furthest room in the back has been reserved for Chancellor Osborne. They're unoccupied present, save for the cleaning staff, so feel free to enter if you'd like. You don't know that Lecter's there? Alright, let's head down the floor. Oh, I guess the other elevators are blocked off for now. Alright, only the leftmost elevator is usable during the trade conference. As a security precaution, yes. I believe this elevator's locking mechanism is controlled via the orbital network. Well, it wouldn't be Orcus Tower if their security system wasn't state-of-the-art. No big deal, though. We can just use the leftmost elevator instead. Alright, let's go to the 35th floor. Let's see who's down here. Oh, hey, everyone's here. Even Toa's here. Good afternoon, everyone. If it isn't the SSS, I take it you've been security of the conference floors for everyone? That's right, we managed to eke out an assignment as part of the security. So this room's where they've stashed all the big guns, is it? Metaphorically speaking, of course. I bet every last person in here is a ranking officer. Correct, by all accounts, this room alone could prevent a major incident. Well, Toa's just student council. Absolutely, not to mention Senior Captain Schwartz's swordsmanship. I've heard it's as fearsome as it is elegant. You are far too kind, it's nothing so extraordinary. That being said, no matter what happens, no one will lay as much of a finger on Her Highness, I swear it. Trust us to protect the conference room, and we will trust you to keep watch over the other floors. Of course, thank you. It's good to see you again, Major Vander. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary yet? Ah, hello there, SSS. It's hardly enough reason to let our guards down, but things have been calm thus far. Even the discourse of the conference itself has been civil. I'm admittedly impressed by how smoothly things are going. If the conference continues to go well, that will at least alleviate some of the stress on the prince's shoulders. Is everything okay, Major Vander? You seem to have a lot on your mind. I suppose you could say that in a sense. We've only come this far because of the seeds he's chose to sow. But never mind that. What matters most right now is the duties of the conference. I've got a role to play as the prince's escort. Just as I'm sure you all have your own, keeping the conference secure. Right, that much is for certain. Ah, you must be the special support section. Thank you for your service today. As you can see, there's nothing out of the ordinary to report here. If you have no particular business, I would ask that you not loiter in the room any longer than needed. Sure thing. Rather blunt, isn't he? Like a pistol whip to the face. Let's say hi to Toa. I've been a nervous wreck all day. But I can't let this opportunity go to waste, especially after Prince Oliver's done for the Academy. So, like I mentioned before, I believe in the original version of Azure, she's not here. Obviously, because they hadn't made Cold Steel 1 yet. Most importantly, I'm here as a representative of Thor's. I've got to pull myself together and chip in. What's a girl in a school uniform doing here? I did hear that a student was going to be accompanying the Imperial government to the conference. Supposedly, they're hoping to gain some real-world experience, being one of the best and brightest at their academy. This must be her. Damn, and here I was thinking someone just couldn't find a babysitter. Somehow I get the feeling she and I would have a lot to talk about. She has to have skipped a grade or two, right? Well, you never know. The girl just might be around the same age as you and Lloyd. She seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders, so I guess she could be older than she looks. It'll be nice to get to know her, but we're a bit pressed for time today. Yeah, maybe in the later games. Let's see, I still have to put together the conference minutes and review the draft we're sending to the Imperial Times. Oh, and I need to respond to Radio Trista's media request too. Well, that's, nice. The conference is finally underway. If terrorists really do attack, we can only guess what they'd be after. Regardless, we all have our assignments from the security command room, and you can be sure what we're going to do wait, what? Whoa, okay. Regardless, we all have our assignments from the security command room, and you can be sure we're going to do them. Oh, well, yeah, the assignments, okay. The conference is currently in session. If you'd like to observe, you can do so from the gallery on the next floor. Yeah, okay. The first half of the conference is scheduled to conclude at 3 p.m. Of course, that could change. So the first part is shorter, so it's 2 hours and then 3 hours. Well, I guess each one could be... does it mean 5 hours total, including the break, or does it mean 5 hours, like, in session? So does that mean, you know... the conference started at 1. So does that mean the conference will end at 7 or will it end at 6? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Of course, that could change depending on how things go inside. Today's trade conference is of great interest to those of us from Remiferia. I'm hoping it leads to further economic development back home. You're the SSS, yes? I trust your patrols are going well today. We've been briefed on the possibility of terrorists targeting the conference. Every one of us is going to have to do our utmost to keep the attendees safe and secure. Well, they're friendly. Hi, Kilika. Ah, you must be the SSS they have on patrol duty. Thank you very much for your service. Let us know if there's anything we can do to make your job easier. Well, look who it is. It's been some time, SSS. How are your patrols going? Kilika? I'm aware of my manners. Last time we met, it was under different circumstances. Let me reintroduce myself. Kilika Roran, aide to the President of the Calvin Republic, at your service. I have other responsibilities and titles, of course, but they're nothing worth mentioning. I suppose not. Would that include being an entertainment producer, like you mentioned before? It would, quite legitimately, in fact. It's just one of the many hats I don. There is, for that matter, a production company office back in the Republic as well. I see, in other words, there are no holes to poke in your story. She's a woman with a mask for every situation, and like any self-respecting spy, she knows how to use them. Hey, I like me a little Mystique, what I wouldn't give to roleplay with her for just one night. That's one of those comments best kept to yourself, Randy. Care to share your conversation with the class, you three? Oh, that reminds me. A little birdie tells me that a little birdie invited you aboard the Arsail yesterday. I beg your pardon? We should have expected you would already know. Geez, how do your sources even get this stuff? Settle down, it isn't anything to fret over. I am curious though, did you hear anything of note? It was only some friendly advice, nothing more. There's still plenty we have to figure out for ourselves. Is that right? Well, the same could be said of myself. What? I was merely thinking aloud. I can envision as many scenarios as I'd like, but that doesn't mean any of them will come to pass. With so many conflicting motives, there's still so much we don't know. That's true of everyone working here today. Will today be the day of the first domino falls, or is that the juncture yet to come? Who can really say at this point in time? I think I understand what you're getting at, but still. Either way, she's right on the mirror. The only thing I'll add is that my role today is nothing more than that of a presidential guardian and keeper. In that sense, you could almost consider us as colleagues. Let's say we put aside our allegiances, simply watch how today unfolds. Beyond that, I have no further comments to make for the moment. Fair enough, thanks for the information. Yeah, it's like obviously the SSS just sees her, you know, on the side of the president, but obviously Kilika was an ally previously. Alright, let's head down one more floor. Oh god, you're here. Ugh, I can't believe that woman would. No, I'm sure of it this time. What was he mumbling about? Excuse us, Vice Commissioner Pierre. What? The SSS. Oh, joy. Well, can I help you? If I may ask, Vice Commissioner, what are you doing here? Tio, you can't just... Oh, nothing. Nothing except my job as director of the security command room. Huh? Since when? Come to think of it, I do recall seeing your name sprinkled in some of our materials. I see, I never read those, hence my confusion. You what? Here we go. We probably should have mentioned this to you all of you sooner. Whoops. One question, if you're the head of security, why are you in here instead of the command room? Taking a little break? Please, Dudley has full authority while we're here on site, with my permission, of course. So you see, there's no reason for me to be in the command room. Too many leaders spoil the group, as it were. Think of it however you like. As your superior, I know what is best for the operation. Now then, you six just focus on not getting in Dudley's way. Yes, sir. Lord. Ew, so this is where they put the lunch boxes. Finally, I can grab a bite to eat. Listen up, there's a press conference scheduled during the intermission. Make sure everything is in order on the double. Understood, we'll get right on it. At least on the bright side, you can buy stuff here. Buy some drinks. Alright, well that's the break room covered. Captain Grant, a pleasure to see you. Hey Grant, working hard? Good day, Sergeant Major Seeker. You as well, Sergeant Orlando. Though I suppose neither of you is technically part of the CGF at the moment. That's true, but my leave is only temporary. You can address me by whatever you find easiest. I don't really care either way. Are you two the only representative from the CGF on this floor? We are. It's out of consideration for the dignitaries and members of the press, you might say. Part of the CGF's orders for this assignment is to stay out of their sight and minimize exposure, hence the bare bones deployment. It sounds like the reasoning goes deeper than that. It does. Essentially, the decision is a way of tiptoeing around the two major powers. While the Guardian Force's weaponry is restricted by state law, it still functions the same as any other state military. We stay within budget, but a great deal of our funding goes towards maintaining and improving the arms that we're allowed to have. Those expenditures would be an easy point of contention if they were out in the open during the conference. Out of sight and out of mind, in other words. Diplomacy can be a fickle mistress. All true, but I try not to think about it too much. In the end, both of us are only here for appearance's sake. Still, there's an entire company of guardsmen one story below ready to mobilize at a moment's notice. Should something happen, they'll be on the floor within seconds, rest assured. Good to know. We'll be counting on you if it comes to that. Alright. Okay. This is obviously the command room. There you all are. Have you noticed anything amiss? No, not yet. The monitor over there gives you a security overview of the entire tower at once, right? Correct. We have access to every critical area of the building in real time. That includes the conference room, of course. Thankfully, this tower is equipped with the most advanced security system on the continent. Numerous locations are beginning to incorporate, video surveillance, as I recall, from the IBC to orbital stores. I've never seen such a large quantity of them in one place, however. How many there are is only half of it. The fact this technology even exists is amazing on its own. I wouldn't be surprised to see them used to survey areas outside the city someday. The CGF's days might be numbered, Noel. I don't think it'll ever be that simple. How widespread they become is going to depend on the public's approval. Digressions aside, they're a more than welcome convenience for this assignment. Without any leads on the terrorist plans, all we can do is nip things in the bud the moment they strike, whether right before or right after. That's why we have to keep our eyes sharp. We can't afford to overlook even the tiniest detail. If you come across anything suspicious, be sure to report it at once. Understood. We still haven't caught wind of any terrorist activity. But it's too optimistic to hope they called off their plans in the face of our flawless security. Would that we could be so lucky. The infrastructure we've set up in here allows us to consolidate and parse every bit of security data that flows in just like that. Plus, while the terminals here are limited, we're still able to access the database at CPD headquarters. Should the need arise, we'll have detailed info on any suspicious characters available at our fingertips. Watching the building through this monitor, you can tell everybody on security details on high alert. Things would be a lot simpler if our fears about these terrorists turned out to be unfounded, wouldn't they? If only we were so lucky. All of us in the security division are contributing to keeping Orcus Tower safe during the trade conference. Our members are practical combat specialists who train constantly for emergency situations. Should the worst come to pass, I can assure you we're just as capable as the Crossbell Guardian Force. We're accustomed to protecting government property and dignitaries alike. Whether it's the anniversary festival or this international conference, handling large-scale events is just part of the job. Good to hear. This waiting room is for members of the press from each of the participating country. General policy forbids them from exiting while the conference is in session. They should all be accounted for in there. Feel free to enter if there's anything you need to confirm. It's a shame Niall didn't come from Liberal. Good to see you, SSS. Hey, if it ain't Lloyd and Company. Feels like we've been waiting forever for this trade conference to kick off, doesn't it? It's the main event of all main events. Crossbell's leadership and representatives from 4 nearby countries in a bonanza of international discourse. And of course, the big to-do like this demands a primetime venue, Orcus Tower, the continent's first true skyscraper. Can you feel it? The nerves in the air? Ah, I'm so tense my heart's about to pump out of my chest. I definitely see the tension, but honestly, you don't look the least bit nervous to me. I suspect the nerves are coming less from her and more from her future prospective victims/interviewees. Gasp, Tio, you're back, and you brought that trademark snark along with you too. I'll admit, I'm not so anxious as I am giddy, but enough about that. There's someone I want to introduce you to. Meet Noticia. Noticia, this is the special support section. Nice to meet you. I've seen you all in the papers before. You look like an even finer team in person. Oh, okay, so she came instead of Niall. I'm Noticia, a reporter from the Liberal News. Thanks for keeping us all safe for the day. Happy to be of service. I've heard of the Liberal News Service. It's the largest publication in the kingdom. That's right, they've also been getting a lot of attention in the journalism world for another reason. 2 of their own reporters were awarded the Pulitzer Prize last year. Yeah, obviously Niall and Dorothy. The Pulitzer Prize. If I remember correctly, they give that to the most outstanding journalists on the continent each year. That's the one. Anyway, the latest recipients are a duo by the name of Niall Burns and Dorothy Hiett. Niall's our ace reporter and Dorothy's a brilliant camerawoman, if not a bit out there. So the kingdom took home the crown last year, huh? 2 guesses as to what the prize-winning story was. Could it have been... Yes, thank you, Noel. Could it have been about the strange phenomenon that happened in Liberal around that time? Right again. Though technically everything they covered leading up to the incident factored in that decision too. I see. They sound very impressive. Yeah, I guess so, but that doesn't mean we'll just lie down and let them outshine us. It's every reporter's dream to win the Pulitzer Prize at least once in their career. And if you want to win the next one, then you'd better get the best scoop you can each and every day, especially this one. You got that, Reigns? We can't let any of those news hounds get the jump on us. Yes, ma'am. If Grace gets any more fired up, the orbital sprinkler might just go off. Let's hope she can behave herself at least. Imperial Chronicle reporter. Okay. I haven't heard too many positive remarks about the Crossbell police in the past. However, seeing how tight the building security is, I'm getting the exact opposite impression today. Only conclusion I can come to is the CPD's shortcomings are a result of their structure, not their people. The trade conference truly is extraordinary. I've never covered anything like this before. Reporter Parker, huh? Conferences between any 2 of these countries aren't uncommon, but between Crossbell and its 4 neighboring nations, that's unheard of. Not to mention, both Chancellor Osborne and President Rocksmith are attending in person rather than sending surrogates. This is essentially the first time these 2 men have ever met face to face. Talk about history in the making. Unprecedented, to say the least. Reporters from every participating nation have gathered for the sake of covering this day. You and your Imperial Chronicle colleagues included. I'm Thompson from the Arden Press. A pleasure to meet you. You're a photographer with the Tyrell Times, if I'm not mistaken. That's right, but I'm still only a rookie. You said Arden Press, right? That mean you're from Remifaria? We may be from different countries, but we're not competitors today. I'm looking forward to working with you. I believe Tyrell Times is the one in Calvard. Haha, likewise, here's hoping we all get the story we're looking for.
よし、これで一通り回ったか。
今のところは特に問題なさそうですね。
ああ、この調子でもう一度見て回るとしようぜ。
そうね。会議の方はどうなっているのかしら。
そうだな。市長や議長が頑張っているとは思うけど。
問題は鉄血宰相にロックスミス大統領ですか。
ま、休憩時間になったら誰かに聞けばいいんじゃない？
The same day, 3:05 p.m. The trade conference finally reached its halfway point. Before the intermission officially began, the heads of state held a brief press conference for the media. Wow, already halfway. Meanwhile, Lloyd and the others took the opportunity to speak with Mr. Grimwood, who started his break ahead of the others.
なるほど。そんな事情で君たちも警備に参加したのか。
ええ、正直気休め程度にしかなっていないかもしれませんが。
いやいや、市長暗殺未遂事件で大金星を挙げた君たちだ。この場にいてくれるだけでも私としては非常に心強いよ。
そう言っていただけると。
ありがたいっすね。
それで先生、会議の方はどうなんですか？さほど荒れた雰囲気は感じられませんでしたが。
ああ、今のところは順調だよ。いくつかの通商協定には各国の同意も得られたし。
That's good.
ディーター市長の呼びかけも無駄にならなかったようだね。
そうですか。ちょっと安心ですね。
しかし今のところってことは何か懸念でもあるのかな？そうなんですか。
オブザーバーである私の口から言うのもなんだが、前半は貿易や金融などの経済的な議案がほとんどだったんだ。
Right.
しかし会議の後半は各国首脳から定義される議案。しかもどうやらクロスベルの安全保障に関する話が出るらしい。
Right.
それは
安全保障ってことは軍事の話も入るってことか。
でも2年前に締結された不戦条約もありますよね。
あれはリベールの女王陛下が当時のクロスベルの危機的状況を抑えるために提案したものだ。レミフェリアは関わっていないし、何よりクロスベルそのものが不戦条約には関わっていない。その意味でそれとは別の新たな安全保障の枠組みが求められているのは確かでね。
確かにそれは祖父も懸念していました。ならクロスベルを交えた新たな条約を結べばいいのでは。
Yeah, but what if Erebony and Calvert don't want to agree to that?
そうですよ。不戦条約と同じ国家間の争いを武力で解決するのを禁止するような枠組みを。
そうか。クロスベルは国家じゃない。帝国と共和国によって承認された自治州でしかない。
そう、それはつまり国際条約を締結できるような国家主権を持っていないということだ。経済的な協定は結べても対等な立場での条約は結べない。それが結果的にこの地の安全保障を ひどく危うくさせてしまっているわけだ。
ややこしいが、なんとなく分かってきたぜ。
すみません。ちょっといいですか。クロスベル以外にも自治州というのはあります。レマン自治州、オレド自治州、ノーザンブリア自治州。それらの自治州も同じように国際条約は結べないのですか？
いや、そんなことはない。確かにそれらの自治州もそれぞれの歴史的事情によって国家としては成立していないが、宗主国から移譲される形で同等の主権が認められている。
宗主国。それらの自治州が決定的にクロスベルと異なる点、それは成立を承認したのがアルテリア報国ということなの。
アルテリア報国というと七葉教会の総本山だったっけ？
That would be it.
ええ、国土は小さいけど宗教的な権威は持っているから、自治州や自由都市の多くはあそこに頼って成立しているの。
だがクロスベルは帝国と共和国に承認されて成立する自治州、いわば宗主国を2つも持っている形になっているんだ。
ええ、そしてそれが歴史的にさまざまなねじれと悲劇を生んだ。クロスベルに少しでも主権が認められればもう少し状況は変わるのでしょうけど、それを二大国が認めることは永遠にありえないでしょうね。そんな、ため息が出てしまいますね。
話を戻すが、どうやら宰相と大統領はそれぞれ安全保障に関する提案があるらしい。無論それは対等な条約を各国が結ぶというものではない。今頃議長や市長たちは警戒を強めているところだろうね。すまない、不安にさせてしまったようだな。まあマクダエル議長などはこのような状況は慣れっこだろう。それにディーター市長の方は何やら策があるようでね。
策ですか？
それはどういう？
いや、詳しい話は私も聞いていないんだが。
失礼します。
Right when we could have learned
ロイ
something.
ド・バニングスです。
バニングス、こちらは記者会見が終わった。首脳たちは36階に引き上げたが、お前たちはどこにいる？
はい、34階の休憩室ですが、何かありましたか？
実はオズボーン宰相とロックスミス大統領からそ
Oh.
れぞれ申し入れがあった。休憩時間中、お前たちと直接話がしてみたいそうだ。
Chancellor Osborne and President Rocksmith want to speak with us.
相手が相手だ。さすがに断ることもできん。休憩時間中に36階にある両首脳の部屋を訪ねるがいい。左翼の採用が大統領、右翼の採用が宰相の部屋だ。
待ってください。一体何がどうして？さすがに荷が重すぎますよ。
甘えるな、バニングス。両者の思惑を伺えるまたとない機会だろうが。
わかりました。すぐに両首脳のところに向かいます。
いざという時はエリー城に頼れ。ビップ相には慣れているはずだ。
Yeah, it's true.
話が終わったら報告に来い。
了解です。
ロイド、今のは？
おいおい、不穏なことを言ってやがらなかったか？
ああ、
Lloyd explained to the others that both Chancellor Osborne and President Rocksmith had requested a private audience with them.
へえ、マジかい？
どうやら冗談ではなさそうですね。
いやはや、驚いたな。
Even Grimwood is speechless.
どうやら思っていた以上に 特務支援課の名前は知れ渡っている。
Okay, but we know Osborne always has a plan for something, so.
いや、両首脳のスタッフにそれぞれ知り合いがいるんです。それで興味を持たれただけかもしれません。
なるほど。そいつはありそうだな。
だとしても断るわけにはいかないわね。
ああ、36階の左翼と右翼の採用の部屋だ。
Lloyd already seems like he's done with today.
早速訪ねてみよう。
了解です。イエスさん。
Well, there you have it. Let's talk to Grimwood real quick, and then we'll end things off here. And then next time, I guess we'll head up to talk to President Rocksmith and Chancellor Osborne. Receiving an audience with the heads of state of both major powers is something substantial, no matter the reason. I'm sure you're apprehensive, but an opportunity like this is worth taking advantage of. At the very least, being able to size both men up in person should be a valuable experience for you. I was thinking the same thing. We'll head over to see them now. Please excuse us, Mr. Grimwood. Alright, well, that's going to be it. So next time we'll go talk with the two, I guess, heads of state, you could call them. And see what that, obviously, I mean, Rocksmith, we haven't really gotten to know very well. The most we know about Rocksmith is what we learned during Killika's story in that Sky Third door when she officially took the job. So we don't know too much, but Osborne, we got to learn quite a bit about him in Cold Steel 1, so we have more of an idea of kind of what he's up to. Besides, you know, being dead at the end of Cold Steel 1, essentially. Or at least being shot. By our good friend C. But yeah, we'll see what they want next time. So that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.